person that, oh, sorry, that we either a doctor, a lawyer, or a failure. And so I learned the valuable lesson that just because someone loves you doesn't mean they give you good advice. And I became a salesperson instead of a lawyer, although I did take the bar to mitigate risk in case the sales thing didn't work out. And my mom was right that the internet was a fad, but it ended up she wasn't. And 9 months out of law school, I was a millionaire. And that put me on a trajectory in 1995, 3 years into my career. I was part of an acquisition for $3.4 billion, and then went up to the Silicon Valley, raised hundreds of millions of dollars in the wireless proxy server space. And by the time I was 30, I was CEO of the world's first smartphone, a Samsung manufactured PCE phone device. And my life was an interesting life. I could buy whatever I wanted. I went from living in a world of not enough, a world where I was a victim, a world where all the questions in my head were why me, into a world of just enough for me. So things were happening to me as a child. Now they were happening for me. I was buying more things, different things to be happy. I was buying things I didn't need to be happy. I was buying things to impress people I didn't like to be happy. But in the end, I had some great lessons to learn.
Thank you for that. That's just an intro. And a second thing I want to ask you, that as you have when you have lost everything, and then you had turn it around. My question is, nowadays, as you know, it is an uncertain time. When somebody loses their job or a business and they don't have nothing, they don't have money to eat food or pay rent. And at that time, how a person can be positive and change to complete into a different level. What do you have to say for that?
You need to understand what you
Yeah.
have control of. You have control of your mindset. You have control of your heart set, how you feel. You have control of what you think, say, do, and believe. And also understanding the unconscious competencies that you have, the aggregate of all of those things. And so for me, it was a matter of focusing in on what I had control of and making sure that I utilized those capabilities, the skills, knowledge, and desire that I had in a synergistic and supplementary way that were aligned with how I was going to make that money back. And utilizing that, I came up with 4 key values that I was going to live by. The first, to help me have the mindset, was gratitude. Gratitude is the most powerful thing in the world. Best piece of advice I can give anyone, and still to this day, is to say thank you before you go to bed and thank you when you wake up. If you can do that for 30 straight days, I promise you, your life will change. The second thing was to have forgiveness in my life. Forgiveness gave me peace. It made me feel good. Peace is the greatest feeling that we can have. It's the happiest feeling that we can have. When we are at peace, we are happy. And so to take control of my mindset and my heart set through gratitude and peace or forgiveness. And then third was accountability. We talked about taking control. The only way we have control of our life is when we admit that we are accountable for everything in our lives. In order to do so, we just have to ask ourselves 2 simple questions. What did I do to track this into my life? And what am I supposed to learn from it? What you'll learn is everything is based on lessons. The more lessons that we learn, the happier we are. Pain itself is just an indicator. It's not a stop sign. It's just a turn signal. It's indicating that we have lessons to learn. And the pain's going to continue until we learn those lessons. So when pain arises in our life, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial pain, all which are prevalent today in the compressed time of uncertainty and accelerated change that we're experiencing, we must look upon that pain as a challenge to learn the lesson that is pushing us towards something better, to make our situation better, not to stop things, not to create resistance, voids, and shortages and obstacles. If we feel that way, if we look for what we don't want, we most certainly will get what we don't want. But if we put our faith into what we do want, if we vote for what we do want, we will determine in a rapid and accurate way what we do want, and we will have those things come to us. A lot of times too, what we do is we seek others' opinions, like my mother's when we were going to law school or to take that job in the corporate world, and we vote for what other people want for us. And what happens is we end up manifesting or getting what other people want for us. Then we resent them. We create more shortages, voids, and obstacles, and we destroy some of the most valuable, intimate relationships. Most relative information and intimate relationships that we have are all ruined because we end up blaming those people. So accountability does not allow us to blame or shame or justification. It only makes us accountable for everything in our lives. And then finally, and most importantly, is understanding communication, connectivity, effectively communicating not only with everyone else to inspire and motivate and transition that inspiration and motivation. But more importantly, we need to determine and how to effectively communicate to the greatest source of power, the greatest source of light, love, and lessons. All knowing we live somewhere between infinity and limitlessness for just an instant, taking all the man-made constructs that we have. But if we can focus in on what we are always connected to, that great source of light, love, and lessons, and we lessen the interference, lessen the corrosion, and we utilize the truth consciousness, not the ego-based consciousness, in order to effectuate all that power through us. So not to us like victims, not for us in the world of just enough, but through us in an abundant world of more than enough of everything for everyone. If we allow all of that power, light, love, and lessons to come through us for others, then we can utilize this unbelievable power to get what we want. And that's what I utilize, those 4 values: gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and effective communication, in order to rebound. Within weeks, I was back to being a millionaire.
Very well. Very few people will do it, because when you get in a negative state, it is very hard. I was there, but with my life, I have to restart everything again. But it took me a year and a half to get back, because I was addicted to something, and I didn't lost hope. But I was working 15 days in a day, 15 hours in a day, and so on and so forth. But there's always a way if you want to make up something.
Yes, sir. And I don't believe in work, though. I believe in activity I get paid for and activity I don't get paid for. So work is a challenge, and I won't do something if it's work. If I can't find the light, the love, and the lessons in it, then I'm not going to do it.
Absolutely. My second question is to you, that connectivity, as you said, to get connected with people. So how could I mean, I'm seeking knowledge from you, that how could I connect with people?
So what you want to do is, there's 4 ways that we connect with people. One is in person. So what we have to do is be prepared to connect to people and for what we want. So we need to take inventory of our values every day and effectuate an ask and attract strategy of asking people of how we can be of service or value, but also asking, do you know anyone that can help me? And if we do so in person every day, on the phone every day, via email every day, and of course, media, radio, print, TV, and social media, if we ask and attract every single day, knowing what we want by taking inventory of our values, our personal, experiential, giving and receiving values, we will have a much greater efficiency, effectiveness, and statistical success in connecting to others and allowing things not only to come through us, but through them for a greater good, for a higher purpose, into pursuing our own potential.
That's good. And as you know, I have just started a podcast, that Create Momentum. So I want to grow it and be successful. So what would you advise me to take to my channel and connect? I mean, people like you and your colleagues, or anybody more successful who can give advice us. So what should I do for that?
Well, you need to practice, right? So in order to have a podcast, you have to allow the audience to grow. I always said, when I started anything, my personal brand, my podcast, my TV show, movies, I'm just looking for 2 people that will tell 2 people to watch or hear or listen that love it. And I don't focus in on it any more than those first 2 people that I hope will get me 2 people a year to watch, listen, and love it. And if I can do that every single year, it's a matter, at a yearly pace of only 20 years until I have 2 million people telling 2 million people to watch, listen, and love it. The problem is, most people, 99% of the people quit before they're 25% of the way there. They don't understand compound interest, exponential growth. They're not willing to do what it takes to build an audience, to practice. They are assuming that they're terrific at what they do. They don't know what they don't know. They don't have enough content out there for anyone to have the awareness that they're even in existence. There's 1.5 million podcasts and growing, and it took me 3.5 years to do this and stay focused to be one of the top 50 podcasts of all time. And so, it's not easy. You can build it though, two people after two people. 1% of the people will be left after they're 25% of the way there. 99 of that 1%, 99% of the 1% will quit before they're 50% of the way there. And the 1% of the 1% will understand segmentation, acceleration, compound interest, and exponential growth. And those are the ones that will be the top 100 podcasts out of the millions and millions that will exist.
Thank you. I am following you as I see your video with Gary Vee and Playbook all the time. Watch the video, learn from it. And to be honest, when I first time in a video I was watching on a YouTube, the word, the definition of happiness is really simple. That affected me, and I watched it again and again, and I written down. I said, David's words are very impactful, and which makes a difference. So today we having a conversation. It was not the matter of subscription or anything. I knew it. It will add a value to me, and I will learn time to time. As I said to you in our first meeting, that there will be a time where we will be sitting to see each other until this pandemic or uncertain time gonna finish. Definitely gonna visit to you in USA. So this is my way of saying you thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
as you said that when I was on an Instagram, I said I've contacted few people, and you contacted me back. That was great for me. So again, thank you, and I'm very grateful to you. My next
Thank
question, because uh, my next question is that I always, as soon as I come to know selling, how to sell, the selling is a great skill set to improve yourself or improve your life. So how would you elaborate about to become a good salesman, or to be a CEO, or I want to go in a different direction and achieve the level of success?
Sure. So for me, it's a matter of understanding five things. I call it the five to thrive selling system. And the idea of selling is to sell through people. In other words, to thrive, so that you're not selling to people, you're selling through them so they sell to others for you. And the greatest companies on earth, whether it's Apple or Amazon or Whole Foods or whatever, those are places where people are selling through to others. And in order to do so, you have to, number one, know that credibility is the most overlooked and most important thing in sales. Most people diminish their capacity, their statistical success, efficiencies, and effectiveness because they forget about credibility. They oversell, they back end sell, they lie, they cheat, they manipulate, sometimes over very little things. I always say lying about little things create big doubts. And the last thing you want to do when you're selling is create big doubts by lying about the little things. And people, they will, and the truth will always find itself to the top. And so credibility should be your number one concern when you are selling, to make sure that you're illuminating all the truths, whether they're strengths or weaknesses, illuminating the value, quantitative value, not subjective value. Remember, subjective value is for the cartoons. It's for the purple dinosaurs, is like Barney, right? I love you, you love me, nobody makes any money. We need quantitative value in order to assess and articulate that quantitative value in order to create a true shared vision in a monetary sense in a sales situation. The second thing beyond credibility that people don't imagine is emotional attachment. People buy on emotion for a logical reason. They always buy on emotion. That's why they'll justify why they buy something, because it was on sale or it was free or whatever they want to pretend to understand. The truth is, we should we should promote the emotional attachment, but cement it with quantitative value. Now, beyond credibility and emotional attachment, the third thing is to be able to quantify three things. One, quantify reasons. If we can quantify the reasons, time, resources, money, in order to effectuate a sale that is most definitely the 120 rule, where you're providing $100 worth of value and only asking for $20 back. For example, if I was going to sell you a pen for $1 million, you would probably tell me to F off. But if I told you that I would let you borrow $1 million to buy the pen, interest free, and I would put another $1 million in escrow at your mom's house. And if you could sell the pen at the end of the year for $2 million, I would not only forgive the debt, but release the other $1 million to you. You would tell me that's the greatest deal ever, and you would move forward. It's all about understanding how to articulate the quantification of the value of the reasons that you should do it. Two, the impact that it has, how it's going to change your life, how it's going to affect others, how it might save the world or the environment or whatever. And then finally, the capabilities, right? Aligning the capabilities, synergistic and supplementary skills, knowledge, and desire that you have, the customer, the product, the service, or solution has, that are aligned with what you're doing or what is aligned with that person's values. So if you take the 5 to thrive and look at credibility, emotional attachment, quantifying reasons, impacts, and capabilities, all you need to know is the only thing that helps to flavor it is the cherry on top is the features and benefits. Most people lead with features and benefits. They lead with the explanation of what it does and how it does it, and they miss the quantitative value of credibility, emotional attachment, reasons, impacts, and capabilities. You need to use the 5 to thrive vision, the 5 to thrive system, in order to stimulate interest, to get somebody interested, looking for an open mind, because it takes as much energy to change the mind of a closed mind as it does 1,000 open ones. You need to transition that interest utilizing the credibility, emotional attachment, and the quantification in order to share that vision and be able to ask when you share that vision, can you see any reason you won't want to move forward, doing the math. And then 4, managing and developing the vision through a go, no-go plan where you predetermine each step of the way how you manage and developing that vision so that you can provide value, stay aligned, so that you don't fall into the trap of overselling, back-end selling, manipulating, lying, or cheating to people and lose that reputation. You lose that credibility, but instead you're selling through that person, so they're bragging and selling for you to all their neighbors, friends, associates, how great your service, solution, or product is. And that, if you do that, will allow you to thrive. Stimulate interest, transition interest, share a vision, manage and develop that vision so you can thrive.
All right, David, it is great. I mean, as soon as I'm speaking with you, I'm learning from you. Thank you very much for your time. And my last thing is, what is the message you would like to give my audience or the people out there at this uncertain time and I mean pandemic? A lot of people become stress, anxiety, and which is going on, which is I see every day. Every day they talk about COVID-19, and I mean they don't see the a bright picture at the moment. Everything is negative for them. So please, you want to say anything? We'll wrap up after
Yes,
this.
please. So
Anyway.
I've been doing trainings to help people, empower over 1 billion people to be happy. Happiness is the greatest disease virus out there. It spreads simply by witnessing it. It strengthens you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. It'll even strengthen your immune system, so it'll protect you against all other viruses. So I do a road to revenue and happiness training every Friday for free, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern time. I also am available. You can email me for the exercises, guides. They're all featured on Spotify. They're all featured on Entrepreneur. Any single time that you like, all you need to do is email me, david@dmeltzer.com, or you can text me at 949-298-2905 to join my text community. My biggest message is, please be kind to your future self and do good deeds. I promise you everything will work out.
Any question for me? What did you anything you want to tell me
I just
about myself? Well,
I think it was a very good start.
yeah.
Obviously, with a new podcast, it's about building your audience and finding your frequency. So continue to practice, continue to explore what makes people tick and find their frequencies and how you can help other people. So you're being kind to your future self by doing this podcast. It is a good deed. And I'm grateful for the platform. And I look forward to working with you in my private coaching group as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much, and thanks for your time. I'll hopefully definitely see you in US someday.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'm
Take
really grateful to you once again. Thank you very much for your coaching. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
You got it. Thank
Bye.